Today we're going to be talking about Boruto episode 24 titled Boruto and Sarada.
I am literally in the air right now, wrapping up a stewardess. First class, I am so new at this. Used to ride a metro, let us hit as retro. Like the infrareds on my feet, baby, let's go. Send out what they know me by, logic what they call me. Gotta catch a flight, but the fans wanna stall me. Life of a dawn, change just.
Quick thing before the video starts, if you guys notice, my audio will cut out at the end of a word or at the end of a sentence. And I think it's because I messed with my noise gate in Audacity and it didn't work very well. It's kind of messing up, so just bear with me on this video, and thanks for watching, guys. So real quick before we get into the meat or the real good stuff of this episode, I want to talk about my boy Metal Lee. And he's been arguing with Iwabe in this episode, saying that the other Kage could be stronger than Naruto. And I just want to say real quick that Metal Lee has been given some faulty information if he actually thinks any of these Kage could fuck with Naruto. Okay, personally, I think Naruto could 1v4 these Kage. And, if you guys remember, Naruto, he beat Gaara back in the day, when Gaara had a tailed beast. And, yes, Naruto didn't, really understand tailed beasts back then, but now that he has control over Kurama, or him and Kurama are friends, not control. Now that he has Kurama on his side, I think he could 1v4 all these Kage. And so that's what I wanted to get out of the way really quick. So the first thing I want to talk about in this episode is that Sarada is keeping her Sharingan under wraps. She's not telling anybody. She's only letting the people know that obviously know about it from the last time that they seen it. So Chocho, Naruto, her mom, her dad, you know what I mean. So she's keeping that under wraps because she doesn't want people to come after her anymore, or Sakura told her not to tell anybody. But I think this is a really good idea for the developers, or the writers, because if you think about it, she wants to keep it under wraps and practice it on her own time. So in the future, when she pulls it out, I think that's going to make it even that much better, because we're going to see all of her like classmates and everybody are going to see it at its full potential, or when Sarada develops it more. So in the future, all of her classmates are going to be in awe of the Sharingan and the powers that it has, and they're going to be surprised that she awakened it and that it's that far developed. So I think that in the future, when she does pull it out in front of her classmates, or like maybe in a fight or something like that, and her classmates get to see it, it's going to be that much better that she's keeping it under wraps. So later on in the episode, we got to see her practicing with Chocho on her Sharingan and developing it more, and she doesn't really know anything about it, and we see her like copy a jutsu, Boruto's jutsu, the Shadow Clone jutsu, and she gets dizzy and like falls out of a tree, and we see Konohamaru come and catch her, and she pretty much asks Konohamaru like she doesn't ask, he just tells her the three main things of the Sharingan, which if you're a longtime viewer, you already know, and I'm not going to sit here and tell you, because if you don't know, you should just go watch Naruto before you watch Boruto, in my opinion. But yeah, if you guys didn't know that Boruto is targeted to attract more fans, so they're just telling us what the Sharingan's abilities are for the new fans, not the older fans really. But yeah, he just tells her that, and then the thing I want to talk about is you see Konohamaru tell her that now we're rivals, because he figured out that Sarada wants to be Hokage, and it's kind of like a nostalgic type thing, because if you guys remember way back in the day, Naruto said that we're rivals, me and Konohamaru are rivals, because they wanted both to be Hokage. And I think that was really cool, like a nostalgic thing they put in, so that was awesome. So the biggest thing in this episode for me was this 5 Kage summit and this little meeting with all the Kage, and it's pretty much just building up into the Boruto movie, and like that's where they're going to integrate the Boruto movie into the anime. So this is just building up, and the meeting was telling all the Kage that there's more dangers to come in this world that Sasuke has been out looking for, that our peace isn't fought for completely yet. There's still some trouble to come, and they said we don't know when it's gonna come. It could come in months, it could come in years, we're just not sure. But we know from the Boruto movie that it's coming sooner than later, and this is all just building up into the movie, like I said. And all the Kage were kind of like surprised that they didn't tell him sooner, but they wanted to keep it under wraps so there wouldn't be panic throughout the Kage, and I completely agree with that. So the Kage were pretty worried that if this trouble came within years, that the next generation wouldn't be able to protect against their hardships in the future. And pretty much we just see Naruto give this speech that's saying he believes in the next generation, that the next generation is gonna be great even though they were born into peace and they really didn't have to, fight against other ninja from the big 5 villages and stuff like that. They're still gonna be great. And I believe Kakashi said in Naruto Shippuden that the new generation always surpasses the old generation, and that's because old generations teaching the new guys the stuff they've learned from their generation and their past generations and stuff like that, and so that the new generation gets their information, passes on their ideals and better ideas and stuff like that. So I completely agree with Naruto that the new generation is going to surpass the old generation. I personally don't know how yet, but we'll see in this Boruto anime. So then we see Boruto and Sarada fighting on top of the Hokage's face, or on top of Naruto's face. And pretty much Sarada's just saying don't deface the Hokage, and Boruto's just trying to play a prank on Naruto and trying to think he's getting back at Naruto, but he's honestly just acting more like Naruto, which is kind of funny. And yeah, this was a really great episode because it's pretty nostalgic. If you guys remember way back in the original Naruto was doing the same thing in chapter 1. I mean, 15 years ago from when the Naruto manga started to when it ended, and 2015. I mean, Naruto's been pulling this stuff forever, and it's kind of funny to see Boruto pull this stuff now. And we see Boruto, he ends up riding on the Hokage's face, and he puts like stupid old man and stuff like that, and all the Kage run outside and they see Boruto up there painting, and they just agree that, hey, even though this generation might be a little less ready to fight than us, or have our skills honed in war, they might just come out and pull out a good generation of this one. So the last thing I want to talk about is this leaf at the end of the episode. And if you guys remember, Naruto was like working with this tree, trying to bring it back to life, because that is one of Naruto's hobbies. If you guys did not know, he loves gardening and stuff like that. But he's working with this tree, and at the end of the episode, you see this like bulb on this tree, or like this little leaf sprouting from the tree, and it's kind of like symbolism. It's kind of saying that the new generation is forming, and it might be small, they might be small now, but it's going to grow into a branch, it's going to grow into its own little community of like leaves and stuff like that, and everybody's going to grow up to be great ninja. And so I thought that was really, really awesome how they put that in at the end, and the soundtrack behind it was just beautiful. Everything about this episode I thoroughly enjoyed. It was deeper, it was a build-up episode to what we were going to see in the future. I mean, it was just a great all-around episode. So thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next one. Peace out.